Alright, cooler. Finally, I have this cooler concept video that I unfortunately had to push back by a day due to the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku EZA. But we're finally going to take a look at my concepts and ideas for what the LR Final Form cooler for the worldwide celebration will be. I just had this image brought up because this is like the first actual image of the, obviously probably going to be an LR Final Form cooler that we've seen Goku to, right? Yeah, which is pretty cool. If you want to see information about the V-Jump, I have a video about it in the channel, so I'll upload it yesterday. But let's hop right into it. LR Final Form Cooler concept. It's funny because I had all the text lower, right? But because I made everything else bigger, this is actually the smallest one, funny enough. But anyways, there's leader skill. I make it Wicked Bloodline or Space Traveling Warriors, key 3, and then 170% to stats, plus an additional 30% to stats to characters who belong in Terrifying Conquerors. Now, I think that these two categories are definitely pretty good, right? I mean, I'll just bring up Final Form Cooler, right? We'll take a look at, of course, Wicked Bloodline and Space Traveling Warriors. I think both of these teams need just a new leader, right? This guy could potentially EZA, right? But I think just getting a new leader for Wicked Bloodline would be really good. Eventually, we can see another Tournament of Power Angel Frieza maybe or something like that, right? We got, obviously, these two behemoths are really strong. Int Meta Cooler's EZA. He'll be really good here. With his support buff, right? He does support, well, I guess it's artificial life forms, right? But still, that's pretty good there. I think this Frieza could actually be pretty solid even now still. There's some good options here, but I think we really want to have a new leader. Maybe this guy EZAs with this guy on here is really good. You could still be runnable, right? There's tons of options here. Actually, let me actually check this guy. The TUR, it's funny enough. Yeah, he's 20% reduction. That's kind of funny. Okay, I wanted to check. Did he have the massive damage reduction? But no. Space Traveling Warriors also needs a new leader. Bojack was the last one and the first one, right? So yeah, I think a new leader would be appropriate. I mean, if we just take a look here, there's tons of options that this team would help, It has like all the Turleses, a lot of these movie bosses around here. I think it'd be a good leader skill to have. Now, he could be a movie boss's leader, that's fine as well. I think that would work too. And again, I give the additional 30% to Terrifying Conquerors. So he essentially gets all the Frieza, Coolers, and Turleses in here, right? If we take a look here, and we just take a look at the leader skill. Again, there's just so many options here that you could really run a lot of different builds, I feel like, with the Golden Friezas, Turleses would work well here. Bojacks in the future, Meta Coolers in the future, right? I think just getting all these characters on a leader skill like that would be really helpful. The only new 200% lead character that we would get here would be the LR Golden Frieza, right? Everyone else here pretty much has a 200% on another team. That's because there's a lot of overlap, I guess, with this team compared to, say, the Ginyu team. But the thing with the Ginyu team is that you would just run around Ginyu Force units, right? So I think we could still easily get another team with these actual Thirst for Conquest type characters. And that would be very helpful. Now let's take a look at the super attack effects. His 12 key raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes a colossal damage, and lowers attack. I would imagine this being the, I think it's called Nova Strike, right? It's this guy's super attack, right? It's called the Death Chaser, right? Nova Strike might have been another name for it in another game, but this attack right here, right, where he just hits Goku into the actual Rebel, I think that would be pretty cool. 18 key super attack greatly raises attack, who is a permanent stack. A 30% defense raise and mega colossal damage. Didn't really put too much thought into what this could be. I mean, they could really pull out a lot of different animations for him. And yeah, I was just sitting there like, could they do anything else? But yeah, I think there's some animations that they have from the movie, right? Obviously, they won't take what they had for the STR cooler, the STR Transformer cooler that we had back in 2019, right? But yeah, let's get to the meat of this, right? This is the big thing. It's passive skill. Attacking defense plus 200%, plus an additional 66% attacking defense when attacking, so that's a multiplicative buff. Performs an additional attack that has a 30% chance to become a super, which is just a general cooler thing, I feel. Now this is where I kind of went into a little more original design compared to, like, my Goku design wasn't as original, right? So what this is he gets Key 2 and then 8% damage reduction with each Link skill he would have activated, right? So, I mean, if you take a look at cooler Link buddies, right, there's a lot of good units that would be able to share Links with them, and you can get a total of 56% damage reduction if we had like a whole, all, 7 Lambos Links active, right? Let's bring this guy up as an example, right? I mean, he can get it easy himself, and they would share like 6 Links. Physical cooler, maybe, if it's a somehow transforming cooler. I think this guy could very easy at the celebration, and he could be quite nasty. This guy is still, again, pretty solid. Janemba, full power Frieza. Cooliza is really good. Turles. We even have, where is he at? LR Golden Frieza sharing 3 Links, right? Kid Buu. Wouldn't be on the team, actually, but still. So I think that's a good ability. Now, his link set is a little weird though, right? Because it's like, you have these Frieza Clan links, what if you're running them with like a Turles or something for some chance, right? So I gave him this other ability. For each link skill not activated, he gives Key 1 and 10% attacking defense, and that goes up to 3 stacks. So if you somehow, let's say you are linked with a Turles unit, right? I don't know, let's bring up like this Age-O Turles, right? Say you linked up with Age-O Turles, and for example, you would have, only 3 links active or something, right? Considering first battle, legendary power. He would be giving 3 key and 30% attacking defense support to Turles to help make up for the fact that he's losing out on some of those links, right? Like some of those same links, right? Even with full power Frieza, if he would share these 4 links with them, he would be supporting him directly still with the actual support buff for the links that they're missing out on. Like, this guy doesn't actually have Thirst for Conquest, for example. That'll really help Cooler out with the stats that he would be missing. Wouldn't be nearly as big of a buff, but it would be nice considering it's supporting the entire rotation. I think that would work a lot, and it would really help with villain teams, especially because a lot of villain teams, a lot of these units don't really link the best together, right? A lot of them have very odd, distinct link skills sometimes, so this would really help out, I think, overall, and I think having like a top tier villain unit that does this would be pretty good. I give him a 50% chance to crit when facing a pure Hybrid Saiyans category enemy. You could probably bump this up higher, but I think this is fine alone. Does a high chance to crit. He's going to be doing a lot of damage with his links. This is massive, right, for him. He's greatly stacking attack. I think he'll be fine damage wise, especially because he has the additional spell, right? Keep that in mind. I give him a 70% chance to evade enemies' Ki Blast super attacks and counter with Ferocious Power. This is the same condition, well, not the same condition. This is the same modifier as the STR Gohan that came out for Golden Week. Now, this is still an evasion, right? So you would have to evade to counter. It just looks like a counter to me. I know people are hoping for nullifying counter. They could possibly change that, like in the update we'll see soon, but I wouldn't hold my hopes up for it. Regardless, I think that this would be a great tool to have in a lot of situations. Now, I also gave him this ability, which will go in hand with the active skill. We'll talk about it in a bit. He does foresee enemy super attacks when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class and your HP is 50% or below. So obviously, again, he's going to be want to run on these movie, like, villains, just in general team anyways. So I don't really see an issue with that personally. And it'll avoid you from, like, just putting him on some random super class team, possibly getting the scouter. You wouldn't really do that anyways, but I just put it there just because. Now, definitely not a hard condition. I think that you got the scouter when you need it. When you're at low HP especially is where you want to know if you have a scouter. Like, if you're at low HP, you reveal you don't have a scouter, then you're safe. You can save your item for another turn. I think it could become very valuable to you. Now, I have this as well. He has this active skill. It can also be activated when HP is 50% or less, starting from the 4th turn. What this does is this disables the enemy's super attack action once within a turn. So let's say you're against Red Zone Broly. He's gonna AoE you in that, next phase, and you got supered unluckily. You have the scouter up. You see that Broly's gonna AoE you first thing and like straight up first attack, but you are under 50% HP. Then you go ahead and pop this. You nullify his super attack. Something like that. Or AGL Broly, you nullify one of his supers he's going to do, right? Maybe you took a lot of damage from the AoE phase. This could be very, very good. You could even pop it, like, literally, even if you don't have the scouter, say you're at the end of the fight, you don't have the scouter, you can pop it. You're against Omega Shenron. You're gonna see the actual countdown super attack about to go off, and you just use the active skill and don't even worry about it, right? It's such a stupid ability, and I think that alone just makes this unit top tier, like mega top tier. Because again, you don't like. I mean, sure, you'll have the scouter whenever this is active because you're always gonna be under 50%, but like you could just use it in general, right? I mean, obviously if there's no super attack, you're not gonna use it, right? But you can see where it is and you can decide whether or not to use it. I think that's a lot of really strong tech with that. Link skills is just the same. I switched out. What's the link skill gun? I completely forgot that I meant. Brutal Beatdown. Yeah, Brutal Beatdown is what this cooler has. I switched that out for legendary power. I think that I want the rest of these links. Metamorphosis would be helpful for like Janemba, right? Or Kid Buu. I think no, just Janemba. But Janemba technically is not on a team, right? So that's the only issue. But maybe you could argue, this link would be better, Brutal Beatdown, but I don't really mind either way, right? One of those two will probably go. I think the rest of his links will stay, like Strongest Clan of Space, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, right? Those are gonna stay. And he has to have legendary power in first spot, obviously, and this too, right? So categories: movie bosses, transformation boost, Wicked Bloodline, Terrifying Conquerors, Target Goku, Final Trump Cards, Space Traveling Wars, Planetary Destruction. So that is cooler right there. I did make a 1,000 bounty unit. If we could just go over this real quick, right? He raises attacking defense for 6 turns, supreme damage and seals. That's a strong super attack effect. This is very nice. I gave him 160% attacking defense. He launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super, so you could stack this up a lot and become really nasty. He gets 10% additional attacking defense with each attack performed. He gives all allies 3 key and 40% attack, and then guards. If there's a cooler on the team, the reason why I'm giving him that like huge buff is because he doesn't work at all with these, with a lot of these Thirst for Conquest kind of units. He just doesn't work with them. His link set sucks for like Terrifying Conquerors and the teams he's on, right? So ideally, you give him a really strong support and guard or something like that. Give him a high chance to foresee enemy super attacks, plus an additional 60% attack when attacking if there is a cooler attacking in the same turn. So if he's a floating support, he'll get this extra attack buff. He could potentially foresee the enemy super attack. So in case you're above 50% HP, maybe you get that off. And I was talking about if you're using it with cooler, right? Because cooler only has this under 50% HP. But yeah, terrible link set. That's just what the Thousands have, right? Unfortunate. And Terrifying Conquerors, Target Goku, Special Pose, and Space Traveling Warriors are his categories. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think of these concepts. I think I made cooler probably too good, but I'm interested to see what you guys think. Thank y'all, and I'll catch you in the next one.